How many times have you felt betrayed by a group, by friends, by family, by coworkers, where you approached the dynamic with open heart, with hope, um, with authenticity and sincerity, and it started out great, and then some weird power plays and backstabbings and competitions you didn't sign up for, and people projecting themselves and their issues onto you, and before you know it, you're entangled uh, in power dynamics that you have no idea how things flip that way. It's because you have this tendency, people tend to feel the need to prove something next to you or to you. They put themselves in a situation of competition with you that you did not sign up for. It's because your very essence kind of reminds them what they want to be, what they can't be, what they tried to be. Your very blunt sincerity and honesty can be very triggering, even though you can say things in very like lighthearted, childlike manner that aren't even objectively hurtful per se, as much as they are poignant. So then they can be subjectively digested as hurtful. Um, and you're so casually poignant that people are like, "What did Taurus just say?" And you're like beyond it already. Mostly because you weren't intending to upset anybody. You were just like saying something as it is, making an observation. Um, that most people in the crowd or in the room wouldn't make much out of, but it will touch someone in a very specific way, and then they will make it personal between the two of you, for better or for worse, right? They might form an attachment over something that you casually said that touched them. And then if you don't kind of flow with that made connection that is possibly more intense in their head, then now you are hurting them or betraying them or whatever they make it out to be. And on the flip side, if you said something that strike them as spilling the tea on them, and you didn't even know it's relevant to them, you may have just said something regardless. Now there's a sense of animosity that you have no idea, and now they're starting to talk about you behind your back, and you're clueless, and all of that over something random that wasn't intended to them, wasn't about them, but they made it about them. It's people's narcissism that is also triggered by you because you're so effortlessly confident, right? Um, just from a place of knowing your worth as a human being, as a soul. Your confidence doesn't come from vanity, it comes from a sense of deep, inherent belonging to existence. You don't think of it as any more or less than others. But others who don't feel the same way, who don't have that experience of connection, get somewhat anywhere between curious and inspired to upset and triggered and hurt, even. You have no idea how much people are obsessed with you, for better or for worse, Taurus. Like you'll make an interaction, you'll have an interaction. Um, it will be positive or not so positive to you, but it won't be necessarily. And soon enough, you discover that something happened that you were a part of, but you weren't actually a part of. You were made a part of unwillingly, unknowingly. So here you are in this dynamic that starts great, and then here you are again in this thing that keeps happening. Um, I'm going to tell you something you're not going to like to hear. It's going to keep happening. You're that type of catalyst. You remind people of their own self deceit and lies just by being honest and truthful and non deceitful. It drives some people who are still entangled in their delusion or entangled in believing that they need to lie in order to be accepted, loved, survive, whatever the case may be. Here comes you and you're fearless, right? You say the truth and you're not afraid of the consequences. And they spend so much time and energy on lying in different ways in order to feel accepted and belong. And here you come, and it's like not even, and it reminds them that they're selling their karma for approval. And some will utilize it as an opportunity to become aware and make changes, and some will just be mad at you. You know, it's very suitable that you're ruled by Earth, because Earth, doesn't really know how to handle this alien hybrid species called humanity. There's partly Earthling, partly, I don't know, other civilization. It's uh it's kind of like how you feel, Taurus, in humanity. You're like a part of everyone and everything. Or you have your nose, your ears, hopefully. But you also feel a little bit like an alien. Never fully apart, never fully inside, never fully outside, right? One foot in, one foot out of reality. One foot in, one foot out of reality, of humanity. One moment you feel like a beast. The next you feel like this broad frequency, formless light being. And you are, and you are. You are the Hierophant. The wisdom of spirit with the wisdom of the earth. A conduit, a bridge